Orwellian gamesmanship.
And now, Luka Doncic. Luka put up 27, 9, and 10 in a win over the Lakers last night. You in on Luka being a LeBron-level player right now?
Right now, he is absolutely mini LeBron. He is also, by the way,
feel about Luka Doncic. The question that we have to ask here, when you say LeBron level, what do we mean, right? The level of year 17 LeBron, maybe you'll be able to say something in that direction. But the problem is that the Herbs that love basketball in ways that I don't fully understand have to go too far when they talk about him. Why is it not enough just to be like, wow, this dude is really good to be 20 years old? But you can't stop there, can you?
Because he's the best.
My daughters wanted me to wear the t-shirt. I'd wear it again. Said Freddie Kitchens about wearing a t-shirt that read Pittsburgh started it on Friday ahead of the Browns matchup against the Steelers, which they lost 2013. Pablo, is Kitchens right that wearing the shirt is not to blame for the loss?
It was not to blame for the loss, but his defense was abysmal. First off, he wore this to go see the Mr. Rogers movie with his daughters. That is a movie about forgiveness and children. He proceeds to leave that movie and then blame the fact that he wore the shirt on his daughters. Like, what is this man doing?
I mean, he's saying that he's indulging them because they wanted them to wear it. Like, I didn't feel like he was blaming the daughters. Here's my problem with him on this. He didn't think it was going to be that big a deal. Okay, that's fine. What did you think was going to happen when you took the picture with that dude, right? Like, did you think that this was just going to be this private moment between you and he, and that nobody else was going to see this, that this thing wasn't going to go around? Come on, you the head coach of the football team now.
But you can't possibly believe these Steelers players who all came out afterwards and said, this did contribute to the loss because we were that much more motivated to do that.
Well, I mean, that's what they say, but what would they have said after the game if they had lost and they showed up in the free Pouncey shirts? Like, that's the one that's the most absurd to me. The idea that anybody could look at what Pouncey did in that situation and think that he's some sort of hero.
I just love how we went from these guys should all be in jail to, and now we're wearing t-shirts out with our families and before games.
Bottom line on this is everybody was wrong, so everybody feels wrong, and they all look silly.
424. That's how many yards Jared Goff threw for in a blowout win over the Cardinals yesterday. So, Bomani, how does this challenge our narrative that Goff stinks?
Well, okay, to be fair, I don't think that, at least not me, I don't recall, just going full on the Jared Goff stinks program, as much as not worth the money maybe that they paid him, right? They're worse quarterbacks that you can find in the NFL. But this game doesn't change anything because we got damn near a whole season last year of him doing stuff like this. This isn't going to change anybody. What they did was they played against the Arizona Cardinals.
He was 0 for the month of November in terms of not having any touchdown passes. To his credit in this game, he was perfect on passes beyond 15 yards. He was perfect on third downs. All of that is well and good. But the problem is that Jared Goff is in fact being paid $128 million to be somewhere between stinks and mediocre. So good luck with that.
Other part of that game, though, that I don't think is being discussed as much. Todd Gurley looked like Todd Gurley, and the big thing that changed was that they gave him the ball more, right? Like, you know, these projected stats for this year, they're not bad. They're just not like the 25 touchdown stuff from before.
Complete game victories that the committee says they want. But it's Joe Burrow just being the triumphant hero, man. This guy, it's the fact that they have this guy who is confident enough to blow kisses with two hands like he's Pavarotti. Look at who does that? Who is confident enough to do that?
That's your standard for confidence. Okay.
Absolutely.
I do think Ohio State is still the best team in the country, and because Michigan has lost this game so many times, it's easy to lose sight of the fact that that's a pretty good team. Let me tell you who's not a pretty good team. Texas A&M. That LSU defense is not strong. I feel as though the Ohio State defense is strong. Their offense as good as LSU's, their defense better. And in terms of just pure talent, because Joe Burrow has been very good, he's going to get the Heisman Trophy. But just in terms of pure talent, that dude they got up there in Columbus is a beast, man.
He's great. He's great. But do you think that this finally spells the end for one Jim Harbaugh after all this time? Is this going to do it? Because everyone has been saying, when's he going to beat Ohio State? And he is over infinity on that.
Fire him and hire who?
1-11. That's the Bengals' record after getting their very first win, beating the Jets 22-6 yesterday. So, Bomani, which team has had the more embarrassing season?
The team that's only won one game. Like, to think about what has to happen to your season for you to look around and say, Andy, Come on back, man. We got to win one, right? Like, we just got to get a single one. Can you come out here? The Jets are the Jets, and it's funny because it's the Jets, but the Bengals have been far worse.
But it has to be the Jets because as of seconds before this game started, there was optimism around the New York Jets kingdom. Optimism. Brandon was optimistic. Our man Brandon was joyful about winning 3 straight, about just destroying the Oakland Raiders, about Greg Williams being this defensive coordinator who might have been the best in the league, and then they do this.
You're going to hold Brandon against everybody else?
Brandon is the voice of the people, and the people, man, were so depressed after this particular game.
Yes, I mean, it was like, this is awful, this thing that happened to them. But if you've seen the Bengals play this year, they are so much worse than even the Jets are. I can point to things that the Jets do well this year. All the Bengals did well this year was beat the Jets. And that ain't even that good. All right, highly questionable is coming up next.